Hi there, welcome to this devotion. Imagine this, it's the middle of the night, you're chained between two guards, locked in a prison cell. Tomorrow you're to be executed just like your friend a few days before. There's no escape, there's no help, nothing in sight. And yet somehow you manage to fall asleep. This is where we find Peter in Acts chapter 12. Then suddenly a light breaks through the darkness. An angel appears and taps Peter on the shoulder, almost wakes him up and says, "Come, get up, quick." Chains fall off. The prison doors, they open. The guards, they don't stir. Step by step, Peter walks out of the prison, guided by his heavenly messenger. And just as suddenly as the angel appeared, he's gone. Peter's left there standing in the middle of the night, in the middle of the street, and the miracle is over. The crisis is past. Now Peter must have walked the rest of the way by himself. There's this old preacher by the name of George Morrison who once called this the doctrine of the departing angel. It's the idea that when we are in our darkest moments, overwhelmed, afraid and trapped, God sends help. Someone that helps is dramatic. It's a breakthrough, a healing, a rescue. Sometimes it's quiet, a word of encouragement, a surprising peace, the strength to keep going on. Maybe you've experienced a moment of help just when you thought you were finished, like a door opened, or a friend showed up, or you had this deep sense of peace that just didn't make sense. But after the crisis passes, the angel often leaves or departs. The supernatural, it fades, and we're left with the ordinary steps, ordinary days, a new kind of faith we are called to live out. And I think that's the point. God doesn't always remove the difficulty, but God does promise the presence of in that difficulty. God's help at just the right moment. And once that help has done its work, God invites each of us to walk forward, not by sight, but by faith. We're not meant to live from one miracle to the next miracle. We're meant to grow. We're meant to trust, to walk with God, even in the quiet streets, long after the angel has gone. Perhaps you're in the middle of a crisis right now, or maybe you've just come out of one. Maybe you feel God's presence strongly, or maybe you are now walking in silence. Either way, you can be sure of this. An angel may depart, but God never does. Maybe you're aware of God's presence. Maybe you're not. If not, may you know the God who sends angels in your darkest hour. May you feel this strength when the way seems impossible. May you walk confidently even when angels depart, knowing that the one who rescued you is still by your side. Go in peace and go in faith. Amen.